Tarot. My name is Carmen, and today we've got a reading for you about a couple that might like to make it seem like they're very good for each other, very supportive of each other, but it feels to me like this is two very toxic people getting together. I'm sorry if I offend anyone for like laughing in my picture, the thumbnail for this video, but I kind of chuckled when the cards came out because it does feel to me like we have um, almost like people from both sides of the aisle. So this could be like a wedding, thinking that there's an odd balance to the toxic nature of both of these individuals. So let's go in spirit with a little bit of Wind Chan Ten. I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. If you're interested in a personal reading, my email address is wickedwandstarot@gmail.com. That's in the description box for you, as is more information on how to become a member. Thank you to the current members. Hello, Dana. How's it going? Let's start off with, we'll go with the Metamuse and see what else we've got. Strength and the Six of Pentacles. Nine of Swords and the reverse. Okay. So we have Strength, Six of Pentacles, Nine of Swords in the reverse, Four of Wands, and the Tree of Life, which is unique to this deck. Other tarot decks do not have it. So it's the 79th card, right? I feel like whoever I'm reading for, you have had a relationship end, or you might be like a best friend or a sibling to this individual, but there's someone here that you know is toxic. There's someone that you know, they just like kind of struggle in terms of emotional connections and being mature or giving. That's why I feel like it might be more so this is like an ex or a family member, but you feel like their stubbornness or their irritable side is something that hasn't necessarily been seen by the other person. And then with the Tower in the reverse, there's something here that tells you that maybe they are each, it's like they're two peas in a pod, right? Maybe they're both a bit toxic. So almost like you approve of this connection because you see that there's just going to be like a tango back and forth between these two. Hello, Blue. Hello, Shanatu. How are you? Oh, wait. Shantanu. Sorry. My apologies. Hello, Aiden. Hello, Lane. Hello, One Who Possess. Hello, Michael. We've got Judgment. Seven of Swords and the reverse. And the Lovers. Yeah, I think this is the realization that maybe this could actually work because both individuals are a bit manipulative. So it's kind of like when you have that banter that is a bit competitive or gets under people's skin. Sometimes it works though. It looks like these are two people who kind of mess with each other back and forth, and whoever I'm reading for, it's like you see that maybe you should just kind of live and let live, because if they're both being manipulative, maybe that's just like how it's supposed to be. Hello, how's it going? Arabella, did I say that right? Hello, Moto, what's up? Hey, Michael, loves you too. Hola, David, ¿cómo está? This is the Cook's Tarot, by the way. Oh no, the Chariot in the reverse and the Ten of Cups in the reverse. This feels more and more like you're realizing that two people kind of deserve each other. I'm not trying to be super negative about this because I think when you have a relationship end or when you stop being friends with somebody, the best possible way to deal with that is to wish them well. I hope you get, you know, things resolved in your life. I hope things get better for you. I hope you're successful. If you put energy into wishing ill towards them, you take away from the things that you're able to do with your energy, right? What can you build? What can you create in your life? So I'm trying to be cautious because I feel like we might have somebody who's like kind of delighting in the fact that an ex of theirs is potentially getting married or in a relationship that seems to have some inevitable expiration date because we're dealing with two toxic people. So just be cautious with that, right? There could be a delay in your own spiritual journey if you're spending too much time checking out what's going on with the exes. Hello, Keith. I have not. Hello, Bob. How are you doing? Ooh. Thank you, Dana. Find anything on Bond's phone. I got you. And let's see. What else do we have? The Ten of Cups, though, being in the reverse makes me feel that we have perhaps some like codependent energy. Like, yeah, it's not necessarily love, but, you know, there's a place to stay, or there's a little bit of stability, or they put up with me, right? Wheel of Fortune. Seven of Swords in the reverse. Hierophant in the reverse. So there could also be some conversation that happens regarding, especially if this is like an ex of yours, regarding some previous connection that someone felt like was going to be the marriage, felt like was going to be like the major relationship in their life. So there's some thinking back on a previous connection just as somebody is making a major commitment. And I do feel like the person making the commitment is kind of toxic or codependent and probably moving forward with this relationship or this commitment for the wrong reasons. This is the Tattoo Tarot. Hello, Mr. Wonderful. How are you doing? Thank you. We're back. Hello, Melissa. Hello, Kara. How are you doing? Four of Swords. And the King of Pentacles in the reverse. Three of Cups and the Two of Pentacles. I do think that there has been a lot of healing happening, but this is not within the like relationship that I'm talking about. So I think this is you're becoming aware of an ex in a relationship, probably a serious relationship. Maybe they're moving in together, maybe they're getting married, but you have this ability to understand the character or the, like you can read this person's body language really well. And there's something about you seeing that this kind of manipulative person from your past is likely in a relationship with someone who does a lot of the same type of manipulative behavior. And there's like a little bit of a smirk happening. Like, yeah, that actually kind of makes sense because you both do some of the same things, right? Hello so much. I hope you are having a good day. We've got the Five of Wands and the Eight of Swords in the reverse. This is like, okay, well, go ahead. I'm not upset. That's not the one that got away from me. That's someone that I'm glad that I was able to walk away from, or that's someone who taught me a lot about what I don't want in my life, or what had maybe been making things more difficult for me, right? No, Zed. Hello, Bradley. How are you doing? Two of Cups. Yeah, this is not a very romantic love. There's something here that is to be gained for each. Maybe it's like, I'm at a certain point in my life, so I want people to think that I'm desirable, so getting married is a good thing. I want people to feel like like can't have me, or I've reached a certain point in my life. Or maybe I don't have the money to live the lifestyle that I want, but if I'm in a relationship, then money is a little bit easier because there's two incomes to draw from. This is like someone who's just making a logical choice as opposed to like, oh my gosh, you're like my dream. You're like my wish come true. Yeah. I'm glad to hear that, Bradley. Hello, Dharmendra. How are you doing? Sun in the reverse. Eight of Pentacles. Eight of Cups. And the Eight of Pentacles, Eight of Cups, they're both clarifying this Eight of Swords. So the number 8 is important. I feel like things are going well for you, or they're about to improve for you with regards to profession or your spiritual growth. How you feel about yourself has improved since you've walked away from this person. This ex didn't really do you any favors as far as your confidence or believing in yourself. But when you walked away from them, that's when the confidence really kicked in. That's when you were like, hey, you know what? I deserve better than that. Things started improving for you when you walked away from this person. You got to keep in mind that other people's energy can influence you, can like rub off on you, can make it more difficult for you to get where you're supposed to be or do what you're supposed to do. Hello, YouTuber. We have Supersize Me. Doing too much, excessive, overindulgence. Yep. I think we have someone who is financially in trouble or financially incapable, and they are in a relationship, possibly getting married to somebody because they want to be taken care of. The other individual, the person who has the finances, seems to be really pleased with who they've been able to catch or who they are involved with, because it's someone they consider to be very attractive physically. So like they feel like it's kind of a trophy, or they're able to show off this relationship to other people and be like, yeah, see what I got? The problem is they're both the type to walk away quickly or leave relationships quickly. I think they're both a bit self-absorbed. So it can be a bit of a battle if they both want to be like if they both want the spotlight, right? Hey, Egyptian Empress, how you doing? Hello, Crybaby. No soy venezolana, soy de los Estados Unidos, pero mi familia es más o menos noruega. Bueno, la familia de mi mamá. De mi papá es, ¿cómo se dice? Más complicado. That sounds great. Enjoy your nap. So we have a SOS card, spiritually woke, and reading up. Distress, act with urgency, assistance needed, self-awareness, cutting through illusions, detaching from ego, and reading up, doing the research, learning more, and gaining insight. So someone's giving you a download, or someone is helping you get information on this person that is getting married to or moving in with an ex of yours. It could, like I said earlier, it could also be like a family member, but this is someone you know is codependent or toxic, and they're getting into this new relationship, and you're realizing that new person is about as codependent as the person you know better. And then you're over in your own little area doing well, focusing on the things that you need to. You might have like a close friend that likes to dig up this dirt for you. Why do I feel like someone's saying, oh my gosh, guess what I found out? Like they want to cheer you up with some news about your ex. You may, okay. I'm seeing some irresponsible behavior already from the toxic duo, maybe even from both of them, right? But I do think that there is some infidelity or some inability to remain faithful, even if it's just like I'm flirting with people online or I'm trying to get like someone else's number, you know? Thank you, Melissa. Blue, I do often do personal questions at the end of the general readings with preference or priority to those who have tipped, but I also like to do some freebies now and then as well. Hello, Renee. How are you doing? Hello, Spartan. What's going on? Let's get a few cards from... We'll go with the Gilded Reverie. Hello, Adam. How are you doing? Hey, David. My name's Carmen. Hello, Post. How are you doing? These are Lenormand cards. Thank you for subscribing. I appreciate that. If you could also like, that would be awesome. Even though I do like number 13, it's my favorite number, but we could get it higher than that, right, you guys? All right, so I can't show you the entire card for one of these. We have the woman without a shirt. I know, you're disappointed. We have the letter and we have the bridge. The bridge talks about connections. This is pretty clearly to me a booty call. Now, it might look like a very old-fashioned one because I'm pretty confident that we don't have anyone writing out and putting into an envelope a little letter that says, hey, what you wearing? You up? Hold on, I gotta put the stamp on it real quick. But this is a connection that doesn't really have good intentions. So we have someone who may be cheating. We have someone who may be reaching out to you to see if you're still interested in them. Or we might have like a close friend of yours telling you the tea because they heard it. They saw stuff on social media, right? Hello, Jimbo. No. We've got the stork. Wow. The rider, R-I-D-E-R, and the swans, the love card, the heart. Yeah. So while professing love for someone else, or while perhaps being engaged or moving in with somebody, talking about, you know, like everything is great, we have another individual in this codependent duo that is looking elsewhere, flirting with someone else. So there's already some erosion in this relationship that is probably your ex. This is the Edgar Allan Poe. Hello, Cyber. How are you doing? Hello, E4. What's up? We have the Eight of Swords. Wow, and the Four of Swords. I say wow because these two cards in this particular deck have a lot of similarity in their imagery. So I already have to, when they first come out, have to like make sure I'm reading it correctly. But to have the two that come out looking so similar, and both of them are about taking some time to yourself, or maybe even feeling a little bit stuck or lonely. We've got, I think, frustration from the person who has taken your place. So whoever has started dating the person that was likely your ex, or perhaps someone that you're related to, they're finding out that they cannot trust this person that they're dating, that they cannot trust this person they might be engaged to. And that could be a bit of a scandal, or it could be a little bit hard to avoid if you're on social media, or if you have access to that social media of your ex. With the Ten of Cups, that's like trying to make things look right, trying to make it seem like everything is fine, but the Ace of Wands is in the reverse. So it's like, well, I guess we have these plans, or, you know, we were going to get married, but now we're arguing, and maybe that's in question. Maybe that's not going to happen now. I think we need a little bit more candlelight. All right, what else do we have? Is that like a pun from Aladdin? Hello, VR. How are you doing? We have Judgment. And I probably can't show you that card because it's like for naked dudes. Or wait, hold on. Hold on. It might be... Nope, 2 men, 2 women. Oh, and 1 dude gets to have his clothes. That's interesting. Judgment is paired with the Page of Swords in the reverse. So there's some communication. There could be like screenshots that prove that this person's been unfaithful. There could be pictures or even like some sort of GPS information that made it clear that someone was not going where they said they were going to go. Oh, I think I said hello crybaby, but it's sigh baby. I'm sorry. I feel bad now. Hello Explorer. How are you doing? Hello Liz. How are you? Post, it does if you, it's like anything, right? It's a tool. I could make a couple of jokes, but I don't know if they would technically land. I would just say that sometimes people can get lost on the internet, right? Rabbit hole. And the same is true with tarot. You got to make sure that you're intentional and not getting like obsessive with things, which can happen. But I do feel like it helps in terms of offering some guidance or confirming what your intuition is probably already trying to tell you, right? So we have the Queen of Cups and the Nine of Wands, somebody who's basically questioning whether or not they should continue in this relationship. Maybe it's time for me to make a different choice and end this relationship because they feel like they can't trust this person who I think is your ex. So the Queen of Cups is the individual who got into a relationship with your ex or somebody that you know. And they're both a bit codependent or both a bit toxic. Okay, well, that's a pivot. So remember I was just saying that they're both codependent or toxic? So I guess I probably should have expected that this Queen of Cups, even though maybe a little bit hurt and frustrated, had expected better treatment from their partner. They're looking for revenge. They're like, hey, that sucks. I don't like that you did that. You've hurt my feelings, but I'm going to get you back. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. So they want to return the favor. They want to, I don't know, have a hall pass. They want to pick out somebody that they get to mess around with in order to make things even, right? It happens. How's it going, Jay? Hello, Steven. Hello, Future. Do you really? Does it have a cat? No, it's not, YouTuber. Hello, Panitha. How are you doing? What's up, Grindhard? How's your day going? Aw, that's cute. This is the Black Tarot, by the way. We have the Nine of Spheres and the Page of Cups. So someone was acting as if they were single, even though they were not. This could even be specifically like a bachelor or bachelorette party. This could be somebody who was hanging out with their group of friends No reason to really feel like it was any different than any other night, but there is the Page of Swords. There's some information or detail that is like indisputable proof, right? Where there's smoke, there's fire. And here we have the Ace of Wands. This is someone they're attracted to. This is someone that they've like already had flirtatious energy with. So people, it's like easy to believe that that happened. So now this Queen of Cups who's upset because their partner has stepped out, they're looking for a way to get back at them. Tower in the reverse, 5 of Cups, 9 of Cups in the reverse. So I don't like feeling sad. I don't like feeling like my partner has chosen someone else or found someone else more attractive than I am. So I'm going to go feel attractive by getting someone to be interested in me or making my partner jealous. 9 of Cups in the reverse. My turn. How can I be greedy? How can I be selfish? How can I get what I want now that you did what you wanted? So I do feel like they're going to return the favor. 6 of Wands in the reverse. Well, if it's already failed, it's already failed. So like, what are the rules that we're supposed to be living by? Because apparently you don't have to be faithful. I guess I don't have to either. So I'm going to go find someone. It's like they hear that this person's cheated and they get up from the table and they go right to the bar. Maybe like they go buy a crop top first, or I don't know, some Axe body spray. Just gonna make a stop real quick, you know, up my chances. Have a good rest of your day, Liz. Hello, Mike. How are you doing? We got Wheel of Fortune and the Queen of Wands in the reverse. My. Okay. I'm trying to think of what this is from. Was it like How I Met Your Mother or Old School or something? No. I think it was It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I think the waitress says, I'm going to like get naked with the next person who hits on me. And I think Charlie's like, ah! But then doesn't Dennis get there first or something? This Queen of Cups, it's like, I'm rolling the dice. We'll see who walks through the door next, or we'll see who hits on me. We'll see who buys me a drink. It doesn't matter who it is. What matters is that I get my revenge. Hello, John. How are you doing? I probably said that wrong. Johnny? Emperor. Lovers. And Judgment. So I'll treat our relationship the same way that you treated it, which is to say with like disrespect, right? Doesn't seem to be like we're actually being considerate of each other's feelings. You made me jealous, so I'm gonna make you jealous. So who walks into the bar next? That's my question. 10 of Swords. This kind of makes me feel like it's extra bad. Like the next person who walked in was like your coworker or your sibling or your friend. They want to make sure that the Queen of Cups, that is, the person who has found out that their partner has not been faithful and their partner is probably your ex, they want to make sure that whoever this is, it's like extra painful, right? And it might be like a friend. I think it's somebody that their person knows. So it's like, I want you, anytime you have to deal with this person, anytime you have to work with them, to think about how something happened between the two of us. That's where they're coming from. They want emotional damage. That's what they want. Now, I'm not really sure if it's the right move to go with the Voyage of the Soul. because I think both of these individuals have some healing to do. But we might get the Evil Eye card or the Haunted card. I think it actually says Haunting. What's up, Skimmy? How are you doing? Oh, this one's juicy. We got two very toxic people in a relationship, one of whom could be an ex of yours, and things are getting a bit out of hand, probably on social media as well. So we have the Intimacy card. I think we all know why that one came out, right? Because there's some intimacy that maybe shouldn't be happening. We have Guidance, a helping hand. Yo, Spirit has jokes. Okay, you guys. Ask and receive, Spirit team, friends, and soul family. I think this is someone who gets down with a friend. Maybe a friend of their partner. I'm doing well, thank you. Hello, Lorenzo. How are you doing? Hello, TJ. Hello, Nate. How are you doing? I do, Ronnie. So we've got gifts. Skills, talent, practice, publicity, success, and fame. Here's what I think happens. I think it's the publicity part of that card. I think we've got someone who's like upset, frustrated, feeling sad, and they want revenge. So they're like, you. But like maybe at a house party or like a workplace or something, like if I get with you, that will really make my person jealous after they've made me upset. So then I think someone uploads a picture, or there's video evidence, or there's, I'm gonna like text somebody about this. There's no way to really hide this because there's too many other people involved. And I don't think they were trying to hide it. Like they wanted to get this person back, right? We have empath, sensitivity, receptive, alone time, absorb, and replenish. This feels more like your energy. I feel like while you're over there working on yourself, investing in the things that you need, taking some time to get over what you've been through, someone's letting you know that this drama is playing out on social media somewhere. But you're over here like, I mean, I know they were going to get some karma. It sounds about right. Hello, Gig. How are you doing? Hello, Newport. So we have chapters. Light after darkness, rise, new life, dawn, and unfold. You're watching all this calamity, chaos, and I don't know, controversy. I had to go for another C. You're seeing all this heartbreak and lack of compassion, and realizing that it was absolutely the right move for you to walk away from that relationship or not give too much time to that person, right? Because they're toxic. They're clearly toxic. I don't know if it was the Queen of Cups you were dealing with. I hope it wasn't. It might have been. They're really losing it. Remember that gender in the tarot doesn't really matter. This is energy that I'm reading, not physicality. And the Queen of Cups is like more so talking about someone who is probably seen as a little bit more emotionally capable than the person that they were in a relationship with, but they were pretty quick to want to get some revenge. So they also have that like fire energy within them, this Nine of Wands that came out. All right, this is the Tarot of the Cat People, and then I'm going to tackle Dana's question for her. Good luck, Blue. I'm live every day. Maybe every now and then I take a day off, but not very often. Hello, Larry. Hello, Dan. Are you the one doing voodoo? Because I'm not. We've got Ten of Pentacles in the reverse. A relationship is ending because a romantic tryst is discovered, or people are well aware that there's been a third party. So this is ending in, I guess you could say, spectacular. Why did that word just like evaporate from my mind? Fashion. Spectacular fashion. Not because like spectacular means that it is the best thing in the world. Spectacle literally means like something to look at. Like you're like, oh. So you could even say that like, I don't want to get all like grim, but like negative things that you're watching could also be a spectacle, right? This is like, people can't stop reading about what's going on between these two because it's like taking place in social media land. And so people are maybe making popcorn like, oh my God, what happened next? What are they gonna say? Oh, I'm back. What did they say? Are they still mad? So it's playing out in a way that is more public than it probably needs to be. In part because we're talking about two toxic people. They can't help themselves, you know? But Strength and Queen of Pentacles is your energy. This is like, you're seeing all of this unevenness, all of this craziness, this chaos, and appreciating that you don't have to deal with that because, number one, for most of you, I don't see you in a relationship. So you've got that inner peace thing going on, right? You don't have to be worried about someone else's situation at this point. For others of you, you're in a happy relationship. You're not dealing with the drama that you used to be dealing with somebody like this. So it's a little bit of like the universe saying, see, everything worked out the way it was supposed to. Tower in the reverse, especially if this was somebody who had cheated on you, especially if they cheated on you with this person, it's a little bit of like, yeah, karmic justice, I suppose. Tower in the reverse, Page of Pentacles, and the Nine of Swords, because there's some anxiety and frustration happening for the two people that have been in this relationship that is ending. They're having to think about how to move forward and start a new chapter for themselves, whereas you're getting comfortable in the chapter you've already been able to start. So you got started before they did, right? Chariot in the reverse, Ten of Cups, Nine of Wands. So they're defensive and argumentative, probably dealing with a bunch of drama on social media. And it's like you're cozied up with a book, listening to your favorite album. So I like that for you. Things are moving forward for you in a way that make a lot of sense based on the fact that there's healing energy that's coming through. So you're working on yourself or your self-awareness, not really looking to get caught up in this kind of codependent energy anymore, right? All right, let's tackle Dana's question. Did the female energy find anything on Bond's phone? Did she find anything on Bond's phone? Yes, but not what she was looking for. Why the Four of Wands? It's like, okay, I don't know if this person was trying to find something negative and they were expecting to find something negative, maybe even to like prove a point. But it's like there's disappointment mixed with happiness because I didn't find what I was looking for. I didn't prove my point, or I didn't get evidence to prove this person's awful. We have the Two of Cups instead. So it's like almost relief, but also I feel like I'm wrong, right? Thank you, Kevin. I hope you're having a good day. Ooh, you have good timing, Natalia. I hope you're having a good day. Is he going to play Natalia? And good luck to you, Dana. Yeah, I think that this is someone who has good intentions at the start, or is trying to change some behavior, some pattern of behavior that has made relationships difficult. But there's something here that is a struggle. How do I explain this? This is like, you can only get so good if you teach yourself certain skills, right? At a certain point, if you have mentorship, or I don't know, you can look up like YouTube videos, getting someone else's perspective really helps you to round off whatever you've learned on your own. This is someone who has made progress, someone who has approached things in a different way, but there's still elements of self-sabotage that erode this determination to do right by the connection. So, very hesitating to say that there is a slim hope, but because this person wants to be better. But with the world coming out in the reverse, this is somebody who has yet to really like finalize that perception. Maybe even it's just about whether or not they feel like they are worthy of love. And until they get to that point, they're just going to run into that same brick wall. What about Larry's soulmate? What does Larry need to know about his soulmates? Larry, first of all, there's more than one soulmate. 10 of Cups in the reverse. Are you thinking about moving or traveling? 6 of Cups in the reverse, Strength. This is telling you to be patient. This is not going to be in the near term, but there is someone out there that you are meant to meet. This is someone you do not know yet. This is someone who's a little bit mischievous, and I believe you meet them not in your neighborhood, not in your town. This is someone who's loyal, but they're seen as a bit of a joker by others. So that's why I say like mischievous or playful. Yeah, you got to get out of your comfort zone to meet this person, Larry. Hello, John. How are you doing? All right, I'm going to leave it there, y'all. I love you. Thank you for the likes and the subscribes, and I will see you on the next